Anyway, Lisa's now written a book telling what she says is the truth about her brilliant career, and it tips a bucket all over Karl Stefanovic, who for years was a co-host on Channel 9 until Channel 9 finally dumped Lisa Wilkinson in frustration with her. So, the truth, is it, Lisa? Well, let's have a look. If you believe Lisa Wilkinson, she fell out with Channel 9, ran off to Channel 10, because she fought for equal pay with Karl Stefanovic as a co-host of the Today Show. Men and women should be paid the same, right? He was getting much more than $2 million more, and it was unfair. But Wilkinson figured something wasn't going quite right with all these negotiations and what turned out to be her last day on the show. Because that rude Karl Stefanovic had skipped the renewal of her wedding vows when he was on a holiday break, and on this last day, his first day back, he didn't say why, he didn't talk to her before the show, he just breezed in onto the set and opened up with asking her about this mock wedding. And she felt shocked that this was the way he'd raised this painful topic. And she says she paused and then cut him off, allegedly saying, "Yeah, I did, Karl, did renew my vows. But why would anyone care about that when it's news time? Sylvia, good morning," throwing to the newsreader. Cut him dead. Sounds awkward, right? You know, this callous Karl, this hurt but brave Lisa cutting him off. And it got worse, allegedly, because Wilkinson writes in a book, now accepted in the Daily Telegraph, that almost every interview in that last show was being done by Karl alone. This is funny. No, just about nothing to do. She was being written out already. Something was up. Well, Lisa, you might be in for some embarrassment, because the tape of that last show still exists at Channel 9. I suspect it will surface very shortly. And I know it will show that, no, Karl didn't shock you, not obviously, not that anyone could see. No, you didn't cut him off at all, laughing and joking. And no, you didn't say anything remotely like what you say you did. And no, you were not cut out of almost every interview that day. Wrong, 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 wrong. Makes me think how much the rest of the book must be wrong. Joining me is Sophie Ellsworth, media writer on the Australian newspaper. Sophie, what else might be wrong in Lisa Wilkinson's book?
Well, Andrew, one of the reports out today on news.com said that in actual fact, Lisa, early on when she joined forces with Karl on the program, was earning far more money than Karl, almost double than what Karl was earning. So this is going to raise problems for Lisa and the credibility of what she's saying. Now, the problem here, Andrew, in her book, she's obviously trying to spruik her book. She needs to sell copies. She needs to get headlines here. Karl has remained silent since these extracts have surfaced. But I'd be very interested to see, like you say, the footage from that last program together, what comes of it. And I suspect there's going to be a lot of people leaking on Lisa Wilkinson now and giving their version of events. When she talked about this, Andrew, she spoke that she got the call from her boss when she was shopping in Woolies buying a can of tuna. Now, I'm not sure how much tuna Lisa eats, but I think she was trying to make out she's one of the people. Now, we're talking about these TV hosts, Andrew, that are on about $2 million a year and they're buying a $1 can of tuna. I mean, seriously, I don't think there'll be a lot of people feeling very sorry for Lisa and this supposed gender diversity pay gap that she was meant to be fighting for.
I don't think she was on $2 million then. I mean, all her package combined, yes, you're actually right. From Channel 9, I think they was offering her about $1.8 million to stay, when she said, I want more money. And then they pulled the plug suddenly to her shock. She had to run to Channel 10 and work there for a fraction of it. Can you tell us was she let go by Channel 9? Was she actually fighting for equal pay for equal work, or was it not quite like that?
Well, from all the reports I've read, Andrew, the work that Karl was doing was far greater than Lisa. And Karl could do things such as contribute to Nine's website. Now, Lisa had a contract with Huffington Post when she was in negotiations, and that this limited her in her capacity of what she could do for Nine. There was arguments that Carl was doing a lot more work than her. He was going away to a lot of events. He was going to a lot of major breaking news stories. Lisa wasn't. So, look, again, there's problems in this story, and I'll be very interested to hear what Carl has to say if he does decide to speak out and tell his version of events.